As a warning, this video contains minor spoilers for the Outer Wilds. This won't ruin your experience, but may diminish your experience of discovery in this solar system. Outer Wilds is a game all about discovery. As the newest member of the Outer Wilds Venture Co., you're told how to navigate space, the existence of the other explorers, and the 6 different planets. However, at no point are you told what you should be doing. Different characters offer different suggestions, and none of them seem more important than the others. There's no quest log or UI to guide you, and on a larger scale, the ending conditions for the game are hidden. Hell, even the time loop nature of the game is not revealed for a long time. With discovery as the primary goal of the game, and no clear purpose at the beginning, how does the level design serve to aid the player in this regard? There are subtle ways in which the design guides the player into making decisions that will make their early experience easier, while not downright restricting or prohibiting more challenging choices. Once the player has set foot in their spacecraft, the first choice they'll make is which astral body to go to. There are 6 planets in the solar system: Ash Twin, Ember Twin, often paired together as the Hourglass Twins, Timberhearth, Brittle Hollow, Giant's Deep, and Dark Bramble. There are also several moons and other bodies: the Addle Rock, Hollow's Lantern, the White Hole, and the Interloper. Each location has clear differences, with unique color palettes, textures, and often music. First, I want to distinguish 2 categories of astral bodies: exploration bodies and challenge bodies. This is not a distinction made in-game, but I think it's important to make nonetheless. The exploration bodies include Timberhearth, the Addle Rock, the Hourglass Twins, and Brittle Hollow. These locations are less dangerous to the player and have more beginner-friendly design. You'll note that these are the inner 4 planets, and they are the bodies that surround Timberhearth, which is where the player begins each time loop. Because of these locations, it is more likely that players will visit these first and subsequently are designed in a way to get the ball rolling on a new player's journey in the Outer Wilds. This experience begins as soon as you look at a planet and begin flying towards it. Each planet has its surface rendered, meaning that even when you're approaching them in your spaceship, you may see ruins or a campfire or a large observatory that catches your eye. As you descend, you can land near these locations and explore them on foot, setting off your adventure on that planet. Even if you don't find one, these bodies are easily navigable on foot, with only few dead zones. Just picking a direction and walking will bump you into something important. Once you're on an exploration body, the North and South Poles are also marked for you, and when you explore these on foot, each has an important structure or landmark there. These often are vantage points, meaning once you're done exploring what's on the pole, you can use the high prospect offered to discover another location. The mechanics of these different bodies, which do pose risks, are less dangerous than their challenging counterparts. For example, Ash Twin slowly deposits its sand into Ember Twin, which excavates locations to explore on Ash Twin while covering them up on Ember Twin. Getting pulled into the sand beam between the planets, while scary, is not lethal. This also presents the player with clear gameplay ramifications. If you're exploring on Ember Twin and the path forward is filled with sand, then you need to get there earlier in the time loop. Similarly, Brittle Hollow presents straightforward causality in its mechanic as well. The volcano moon, Hollow's Lantern, launches explosive orbs at the planet, which causes sections of it to collapse into the black hole at the center of the planet, which then are ejected from the white hole at the edge of the solar system. Should the player need to explore an area, but the path is gone, then they need to get there earlier. And, in terms of lethality, falling in the black hole presents a challenge, but also offers a new space to explore that is not a death sentence. The challenge bodies, most prominently Giant's Deep and Dark Bramble, but also the Interloper and the Sun Station, invert all of the conventions of the exploration bodies. These are all located far away from Timberhearth and are difficult to explore. Although you can see them from space, they have an obscurement effect. Giant's Deep, for example, as a water planet, has a thick outer atmosphere that hides everything else on the planet. The relevant locations can be difficult to find, such as Dark Bramble's maze inside itself. The poles have no relevant locations, and exploring on foot can be too slow or too dangerous, making wayfinding very difficult. For example, on Giant's Deep, a world of mostly water with a few islands, these islands are often inaccessible without your ship, as the gravity of the planet is too high to get onto the islands by yourself. On top of that, the mechanics are very, very dangerous, such as Dark Bramble's anglerfish, which swallow your ship, killing you instantly, or ocean's deep cyclones, which send the islands flying into space, only to crash back down with lethal velocity. These mechanics not only serve to challenge the player later in the game, but they also function very effectively as warnings. Because you die so quickly in these spaces due to the hostile environment, it's a very clear sign to players to come back only when they are prepared. This hostile environment works in Outer Wilds because of the time loop, even though they would be frustrating in other games. This is a great example of how your gameplay mechanics can inform your level design, and is just one of the many secrets the Outer Wilds holds.